What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range breakdown on US30. So let's get right on into the charts. So first things first, I'm going to start off by marking up the previous high from yesterday. Then I'm going to mark up the previous low from yesterday. So as you can see, the previous day's low was the one that was taken. The previous day's high did not get traded through. So what does that tell us? It tells us that today was overall a bearish day, and it showed us. Oh, didn't mean to put previous day's low, and we know that because clearly price didn't trade any higher than yesterday's high, and it continued to trade lower, and then we had a significant drop, as you guys can see. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the 12 a.m. open, which is right here. Then I'm also going to mark up the Asian range, which is going to be right here. So once we have this Asian session, we are going to make it, oh, didn't mean to do that. We're going to make it orange. Going to take the indicator off. And now what I want you guys to pay attention to is what happened during the London session. So right here, we have the high of the day. Why is this the high of the day? Because this is the highest point price came to today. But you guys, that's not the main important thing. You need to pay attention to when this was created and what it did. So look to our left. You see that price right here. Make it perfect. You can see price came to this Asian session high and cleared it. It showed a willingness to want to go lower. You see that price cleared these highs. At what time? Early London session. So what does that tell us? One thing that I tell everybody that I trade with is when London session makes a high or low during the session, there is a high chance that that's either going to be the high or the low of the day. It's not always going to be that, but if it's going to be an overall trending day, the likelihood of London session making the low or the high of the day is going to be pretty significant. And as you can see, price traded up, cleared these Asian session highs, made the high of the day after trading above it. Now another thing we can also do is we're going to pull our fib from this move up here, from this high to this low right here. And if you don't know where I drew it from this high to this low down here at the bottom of the Asian session. And you can see that price also retraced into this 70.50% of this fib. Now that's two confirmations that we had already for why I was anticipating that to be the current high of the day when I was currently trading. As of right now, you can easily see that it was high of the day, but I already knew that there was a chance that this was going to be the high of the day before all of this even happened. Before this whole drop, as price was dropping, as price was here around this area, I knew that there was a high chance that this is going to be the high of the day. Why? Because for one, it cleared the Asian session highs, traded into a fib short at 2 in the morning. We made equal highs, and we showed a willingness to want to go lower. And now the last reason why I also believe that that was going to be the high of the day is because, as you can see from this 12 a.m. open, price traded higher during that London session 2 times. So it traded above this 12 a.m. area twice. And what do we know about the 12 a.m. area? Is when you're overall wanting to sell, you want to be selling above the 12 a.m. And when you're looking to buy, you would be wanting to buy below. And what that is doing is giving you the best opportunity to catch the expansion of the day. So as you can see right here, that's what happened. Price traded above the 12 a.m. area, the 12 a.m. line, I'm going to say, into a fib short after clearing the Asian session highs during the London session. So we have the high of the day. Okay, and I'm going to put in capitals after clearing Asian range high plus fib short plus London session plus above 12 a.m. So this is just giving you a brief explanation of why this was the high of the day. And you can see that this is going to lead us to believe next time that London makes a high or the low, and it does something similar to this, we know that there's going to be a high chance that this could possibly be the high of the day. Why? Because we've seen an example just like this. And as you can see from how price moved, this was a major drop. You're not always going to get drops like this, and that's to be expected. But overall, this is a major drop that you could have been anticipating just off of the fact that you knew where the high of the day was. So say you were to look to short, if you would have just had a stop loss anywhere above this area, anticipating that this was the high of the day, you would have been able to catch a big expansion to the downside. Even if you would have had a 100 pip stop loss, you still would have been able to have a 1 to 5. And say if you would have had even a smaller stop loss, you could have potentially had 1 to 6 trades. It could have been very crazy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. I took no trades today because during the time I trade from around 9 a.m. EST to around 9:30, that's when I'm primarily looking for trades. As you can see around here, this is where I was looking to potentially get a retracement in price to continue the downtrend, but I didn't get that, and prices continue lower. So it is what it is. I didn't take a trade, but as you can see, this is ideally where you would want to take that short. Now you want to pay attention to where price overall came to. Price came all the way down to this 35,700 level, which is a big figure level. Is not one of the main big figure levels I like to trade off of, but nonetheless it is a big figure level. I was targeting 36,000, as you can see over here. I was targeting 36,000. If you watch my weekly markup video on US30, you will understand why I was targeting 36,000. And as you can see, price targeted it, and now it's rejecting it. Mind you, these are markups I've already had marked up. I did not do anything. This is the first time I'm looking at the chart since this morning. So as you can see, it's holding above 36,000 now. So price targeted 35,700, making the low of the day. So we're also going to make that annotation. And at what time? This was at 10:30 in the morning. So we got the low of the day at 10:30 a.m. plus 35,700, and that's what we're gonna have right there. There's probably other confirmations such as higher time frames somewhere. So let me see, check the daily. I don't really see any other higher time frame confluences, but we're just gonna leave it at that for now. So we have the low of the day at 10:30 in the morning after trading into 35,700. So we're going to keep that here annotated. And overall today wasn't really much for us to really capitalize on. It was just a basic trending day, and when US30 trends, it trends, and there's not really much opportunity given to you. So I'm going to do the basic schematic on what happened in overall. So I'm going to, this is the Asian session range. And then after that, price traded above the Asian session range, clearing the high. And then from there, price had the big expansion to the downside. And then we had that retracement, and now price is slowly consolidating. So this is overall what happened. This is a basic schematic. And the reason I do this is because when you do things like this, these are the setups that I like to look for. So today was a clean, very clean London continuation move. After clearing the Asian session highs, trading above the 12 a.m. open, you can see price overall had this move to the downside. And this is going to be trades that we are going to want to replicate in the future, because the reason we do all this and the reason we're marking up this chart as we are right now, and the reason we're doing everything that we're doing, is because we are using this information to help benefit us, help us learn off it, and so we can use it in the future. So once we see a pattern like this happen again, we will have the confidence to take action on that trade. And the last thing we're going to put is this 36,200 level, which is another big figure level, which is one of the ones I like to trade off of. So I'm going to make this one red because this is a level I like to trade off of. And as you can see, from 36,200, this is where price had that major expansion to the downside. This is somewhere I was looking to short at early this morning, but unfortunately price didn't get to that full area. So like I said, I missed out on that trade. But overall, this was a nice, clean London continuation bearish day. And this is going to be something I would like to replicate in the future. But as of right now, my thoughts on US30? If we can continue rejecting like this, I'm more than likely going to anticipate price is going to continue bullish. And this could possibly be the low of the week. We will find out, but this is overall what happened with US30. The ideal trade would have been looking to short somewhere above the 12 a.m. area around London session, but unfortunately, I do not trade that time. So it is what it is, but this is a clean day. As you can see, price ended up having this retracement to the previous day's low. And one thing I could do before anything, I'm going to pull my fib from this high to this low here. Okay, that one's not a good one, so I'm going to just do it from the very top of the move, from London session move all the way to this New York session move. And as you can see, from this high that was created during that London session to this low that was created during New York session, we are now retraced all the way to the previous day's low. So I'm going to annotate this also, retrace to the previous day's low. Also, we're at a fib short, so we know that there is a chance that we could potentially keep on going lower. So we retested the previous day's low, plus we are at the fib short. So we know that there is a possible chance that price could likely also have a retracement right now to continue back lower. And where will it go lower if it does? We know that 36,000 is right here, which is another big figure level, which is pretty close. So we know that price could likely possibly trade a little bit lower and then maybe consolidate throughout the day. But nonetheless, this is overall what happened with US30 today. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So hopefully this video was able to help you. If it did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the morning.